Okay, so now I will talk about rigid body, moment of inertia, and radius of gyration. In the early lectures, I talk about angular momentum, moment of inertia also. But now I will discuss the idea of moment of inertia in context to rigid bodies. So first of all, let me define that what is a rigid body. A rigid body is a body when we apply some force over it, it will not change its shape and configuration, or the atoms will remain as it is, or atomic positions, or even we can say that particles do not uh, change their positions on the application of some external force, right? So let me define a rigid body. So a rigid body is a system of particles. A rigid body is a system of particles in which the relative distances of constituting particles remain unchanged during its translational and rotational motion, right? So this is the simple definition of a rigid body. So that means when we apply some force over it, it either causes the translational or the rotational motion, but the distance between the constituting particles, that will remain the same. Then such a body is known as a rigid body, right? So let us try to look at it mathematically, that how do we look at this definition mathematically. What does it mean? Suppose it is a rigid body and say it is ith particle and it is jth particle, and the position of ith particle is represented by xi, yi and zi, and similarly for jth particle it is xj, yj, zj. Now let rij be the distance between these particles. Then according to definition of a rigid body, that this distance between these two particles, that will not change, and this will remain true for every pair of particles which are there. So mathematically I can say that rij, and I will apply the distance formula. Here, right, and this distance must be constant, then such a body is said to be a rigid body, right? So now after the definition of this rigid body, I will talk about the moment of inertia, and then later I will talk about the radius of gyration. So let me talk about moment of inertia now. That's moment of inertia. So consider an object consisting of large number of particles, and let R1, R2 and Ri be the perpendicular distance of these particles from the axis of rotation. This is the axis of rotation, and I am considering a rigid body, and I am considering few points over it. So it is m1, m2, and mi, and their position, their perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation is r1, r2, and ri. So the kinetic energy is this body is rotating about y-axis with angular velocity omega. So if it is rotating, that means every particle is rotating with the same angular velocity. If omega will remain the same, that means particle of each particle will remain the same. Angular velocity will remain the same. Now, the velocity can be written as we know that v is equal to omega cross r. So, if omega is perpendicular to r, then we can say that omega r means every particle has velocity v1, vi is equal to omega ri. I can say it like this, right? So if it is rotating, so that means there is a rotational kinetic energy, and total kinetic energy due to rotational motion means the kinetic energy of every constituting particle. So it can be written like this: m2v2 square and so on, 1 by 2 mi vi square. But if I use this in this case, then it is 1 by 2 m1 r1 square omega square plus 1 by 2 m2 r2 omega square and so on, 1 by 2 mi ri square omega square. Right, that's what I'm getting, and so on. So in the form of summation, this can also be written as 1 by 2 mi vi square, it's summation, or it can be written as mi ri square omega square and summation over I. And this is equal to I omega square. Here I is equal to half mi ri square, right? It is the moment of inertia. So let me define now moment of inertia of the body about z-axis, y-axis we have defined, means about the axis of rotation. So hence moment of inertia of a body about an axis is defined as the sum of products of the masses, sum of the products of this summation should be right. So sum of the product of mass and square of the distances of different particles of the body from the axis of rotation. from the axis of rotation. So this is a simple definition. We can again define in different manner also, as kinetic energy of rotation as we have defined as half I omega square. So from here I can say that 2 into kinetic energy is equal to I omega square. And but if omega will become unity, then we can say that moment of inertia I is equal to twice of the kinetic energy, right? So this is one way which is the this is another way to look at its definition. So we can say that the moment of inertia may also be defined as twice the kinetic energy of rotation of a body when its angular velocity is unity. So that means this is true if omega is equal to 1. That is another way to look at its definition. Now I will talk about very interesting concept. This is the radius of gyration, and we will use it so many times. So let me talk about radius of gyration. So that means a rigid body is that in which if rigid body is moving, that means this body is moving in such a manner, or we can say that every particle is moving with the same velocity with which a object is moving or the body is moving. So that means its velocity, or we can say that, because I am talking about the rotational motion, so in case of rotational motion, it is moving with the same velocity. Every particle is moving with the same angular velocity with which that object is moving. So, and I will use the idea of center of mass, because center of mass is moving with the same angular velocity with which every particle is moving. So rather than considering different particles constituting the body, we will talk in terms of the total mass, and total mass is supposed to be concentrated at the center of mass. So for this, let us proceed as follows. So if entire mass of body is supposed to be concentrated at a point such that kinetic energy of rotation is same as that of body itself. Then distance of that point where whole mass is supposed to be concentrated from axis of rotation is called radius of gyration. For example, say it is a body m1, m2, and it is mi, and say it is the center of mass where whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated, and say it is at this, and these are the various particles, and it is r1, r2, and it is ri, and it is the center of mass, and it is at a distance, say k. Then this k is known as radius of gyration. That means kinetic energy of the body is half I omega square, or it can be written as 1 by 2 mi ri square omega square summation. But in terms of radius of gyration, 1 by 2 mk square omega square, then k is the radius of gyration. So I want to derive the expression for this radius of gyration k, and how radius of gyration can be calculated. So it means that half mk square is equal to, sorry, not half, half should not be there. This mk square is equal to half mi ri square. And let me suppose that there are n particles, and each particle of mass m that means m1 is equal to m2 and so on, it is equal to m. Then I can say that this mk square is equal to, because there are n particles and each of same mass, so nm is basically sum of this, and it can be written as r1 square, r2 square, and so on, divided by n. Right? If I do it like this, then because if it is of this, then it is mi ri square. I can say it like this. Let me do little algebra here. Yeah, it can be m1 r1 square, m2 r2 square, and so on, and it is m r1 square, m r2 square, and so on. So it is m r1 square, r2 square, and so on, right? So that means this capital M is can be written like this, but mk square should be equal to this. So keeping this in mind, I will divide it by n. So this is equivalent to simply this expression. So I can say that this whole of the term is sitting in place of k square. So k square is r1 square, r2 square, and so on, divided by n. So we can say that k is equal to r1 square, r2 square, and so on, n under the root. So therefore, radius of gyration square root of mean square distance of particles of the body from the axis of rotation. So this is all about the radius of gyration. That's all for this lecture, and in the next lecture I will talk about some important theorems of moment of inertia. First theorem is the theorem of perpendicular axis, and another is the theorem of parallel axis. So that's it.